Hello, everyone, and welcome back finally to another episode of Russell's Movie Reviews. Now, I know it's been a while. I think since the actual last episode of Russell's Movie Reviews, it's been already over half a year since the Spider-Man Homecoming review. I know it's been a while since the last one, but honestly, a lot of stuff just kept on coming in my way, such as the gaming stuff on the channel, Studio Ghibli Summer as well. That was also a big thing. And the reason why I couldn't get any up in September was because that me and Matt were both planning on doing stuff or getting stuff ready for the October season. But now, since I think we both have everything under the control right now, I think now would be a great time to try and get these reviews done and over with. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Spider-Man Marathon, where this time, me and my good friend Matt Games YT, we're going to be tackling Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which was released in December 14th of 2018. Now, this one, let's just say it kind of broke the internet when it came out. Like, this one was
Yeah,
the
indeed.
one, this was like the one Spider-Man the movie that everyone wouldn't shut up about. And now I guess
Yep.
that kind of repeats the trend with Across the Spider-Verse that just recently came out, which unfortunately we will not be talking about in this Spider-Man marathon, but I will be talking about at some point in the future. I don't know when that will be a thing, but at some point in the future. But yeah, so yeah, we're gonna be talking about Into the Spider-Verse this time. Um, so yeah, I mean, before we get on to anything else, Matt, you want to say hello?
Yo, what's up, guys? Russell, thank you for having me back at it again with the Spider-Man marathon. It's great to be back doing this. And I was gonna say that I saw recently online that I believe Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is going to be appearing on Netflix on October 31st, which is on Halloween, and I am going to be watching
Yep,
that. So,
yep, I do remember that.
so you already know.
Mhm. Yep, I will be also watching that. I'm not sure on Halloween, probably like a couple days after. But yeah, I will be definitely watching that when it comes out to Netflix. But enough about the
Yeah.
sequel. Let's talk about the original film, which, like I said, came out on December 14th of 2018. Fuck, that's already like what 5 years ago now at this point. Oh god, we're getting
Yeah, I
old.
think so. Yeah,
God,
around there.
yeah. Um, but yeah, so yeah, this was made with a budget of around $90 million, and domestically it made over 190 million, and worldwide it made over 375. So this one made a significant profit at the box office, and I can honestly see why. Because honestly, this is one of the best anime, not even just animated movies, just one of the best movies I've seen out of the 2010s era. And that's saying something because I'm a real fucking
Yeah.
stickler for the movies that came out in the 2010s. They weren't my cup of tea. So yeah. Um, but yeah. So I mean, unless you want to give like your backstory on the film, Matt, because I don't really have anything else to say. Basically, I watched no, we watched this really like right after pretty much the Homecoming review, like a couple days after, with a good friend of
Yeah.
ours, Odd Boy, and we haven't touched the film since until obviously now. Um, but yeah, I mean, because I think you saw all the films before I did the marathon, and at that point, I only watched
Yep.
the first two Raimi films. I didn't know anything else about this. But yeah, you can give your quick backstory on your experience with Into the Spider Verse.
So we're Into the Spider-Verse. I think it's like I think it's one of the best animated films that I've seen. Especially like from a Spider-Man film. Like it's like the animation, like the way that they did it with this movie is freaking incredible. Like I love the animation from this, and um, like it's kind of cool seeing like the whole movie's perspective on talking about Miles instead of like Peter. So it's like a whole different perspective, and we got to see like Miles's character more. Um, but yeah, just the animation though, the characters, like everything about this movie though, I definitely recommend you guys should like watch it. It's really really good.
Yeah, and honestly, I have to agree. Even though last thing I'm about to say this is not my favorite Spider-Man movie. I would still definitely put this in the top 5 for me because
Yeah,
the
yeah,
story
yeah.
for me,
Top five, I could agree with that.
yeah, like the story is very good. The characters are honestly really relatable, and yeah, the animation is fucking gorgeous. Um, it definitely brings off that comic book kind of aspect to it, which I never really
Yeah,
seen any film tackle beforehand, and kind of since, except for Across the Spider Verse, which obviously again came out this year. Um, but I mean, yeah, it's just like what really. I mean, I don't really know what else you could really say about this film that hasn't already been said. It's pretty much one of the best known Spider-Man films out there. Um, I mean, yeah, and then yeah, I mean, we could just get right on to the story real quick. I mean, if you know the Spider-Man story, you should probably know this one. But just in case you don't know, bitten by a radioactive spider in the subway, Brooklyn teenager Miles Morales, played in this film, by I'm probably gonna butcher this, Shamik Moore, I think that's how you say it, suddenly develops mysterious powers that transforms him into the one and only Spider-Man. When he meets Peter Parker, played in this film by Chris Pine, he soon realizes that there are many others who share his special high-flying talents. Miles must now use his newfound skills to battle the evil Kingpin, played by Levi Schreiber, an hulky madman who can open portals to other universes and pull different versions of Spider-Man into our world. So yeah, this is a very out there plot, but honestly, I think that's why so many people love it because it's just so like I don't want to even want to say random because it's not even that really. It's so like I don't even know what to say. Like it's so out there that it's it's amazing, really. And I mean, I think it also has to do with the characters, really, which we're also uh, about to go over. We obviously have our main lead, Miles Morales, which again was played by Shamlik Moore. Again, sorry if I butchered that name. But I think he does a very good job as I think it's a pre-teen Miles Morales in this, I think. Or like just
I
hitting
think so.
teenage
Yeah.
level. Like probably, I think he's like about I would say 13 to 15 in this movie. And
Think so.
like I
I
honestly
have to
think
check.
that he's a really good Spider-Man in this. Obviously,
14.
oh,
He,
14. Okay.
he's 14 years old in the movie.
So yeah, 14 years old and has to be put in a life or death situation as Spider-Man. I think he's honestly,
Crazy.
yeah, it's one of the best Spider-Man that we've had out there. And I know I've obviously said, or me and Matt have said numerous times in the past, that Toby is our Spider-Man, without a doubt. But for me
Yeah.
personally, I think Tom Holland is a second, and then we have Miles Morales in these films as a third. Like it's that good, I think. Sorry, Andrew. Um, but I think that
Rip
honestly
Andrew.
he conveys so much emotion in this film that like you honestly relate to him because honestly, if you were put in this situation, you would probably act how Miles acts in this film, and honestly, I could totally relate to that. So, but yeah, like what do you think about Miles Morales in this film, Matt?
I think he's a like a really special character. Because like you said, like the age. It's like if I was put into that situation, it would be so relatable just by how his age is, and I think he's a really good like representation of being like Spider-Man, and yeah, I think like he's just like such an incredible character into the it's the whole like Spider-Man franchise, and yeah,
Yeah.
he's great.
Mm-hmm. All right, so moving on, we had Peter B. Parker, who was played by Jake Johnson. Now, I will admit, when when you first get introduced to his character in this film, I didn't like him. I just thought of him as a big fat slob. But as the film goes on, you start to understand his character more and more and why he turns out
Yeah.
to be such an emotional wreck. And by the end of the film, he actually does redeem himself and does become Spider-Man again, which I honestly do like. And obviously, they establish more with his character in the sequel, which we're not going to get into right now. But I do really enjoy his performance. I think one of my favorite scenes in the film is when they go to this lab, and they're just they're winging it throughout. Like they have no idea what they're doing, and like Parker is just like walking in, just like, "Hey guys, what's up?" And I was just saying like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?" And then you just have Miles like crawling on the roof, like being invisible,
Yeah.
like, "Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit." And then like what? And then like as like they get chased out, what does he do? He just throws them the entire desktop, like, "Yo!" Oh no, wait, no. Miles takes the computer, like the entire thing. He's like, "Kid, what are you doing?" He's like, "I grabbed the entire thing." He's like, "No, you just needed to grab the computer. I didn't say the monitor too." And it's fucking
Yeah.
hilarious. But yeah, I really did enjoy Peter. I did really enjoy this version of Parker in this chronology of Spider-Man. But what did you think about Peter B. Parker in the film?
I think he was like pretty good, especially like seeing like a version of like Peter that's like much older. I
Yeah.
would say that's been in some more like situations. But yeah, I think he was pretty good. Like for this Peter in this movie.
hmm All right. So moving on, we have. I feel like what most preteens would say would be their crush for a few years. Gwen Stacy, also known as Ghost
God.
Spider, who is played by Haley Steinfeld, who, surprisingly enough, I actually did recently talk about in a recent Ghibli film. I'm trying to remember which one it was. I'm gonna have to probably look at that real quick. But yeah, I honestly loved Gwen Stacy in this film. I honestly thought that after the kind of, I guess you could say, shit portrayal that she got in Spider-Man 3, and after the wonderful performance that Emma Stone gave her in the uh, amazing duology, I seriously thought that there would be no one that would top her uh, after that film. And then Haley just comes along and goes, "Oh yeah, I can do one better." And then, yeah, I think this might honestly be my favorite version of Gwen out there.
Yeah, same. I like she killed it with Gwen.
Yeah, like I really did enjoy her performance as Gwen in this film, and you know, I think it's also because I had previous exposure with her before watching this. That being, her role in When Marnie was there. So I think that also kind of elevates it for me. Like I already knew her beforehand, and now like seeing her in this, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But yeah, I really did enjoy her performance. Do you want to say anything else about her performance, Matt?
So yeah, I think Haley did a phenomenal performance as Gwen Stacy, and I think that there's one part in the movie where she talks about like her backstory too, of like how she became uh Spider Woman or
Yeah.
like Spider Girl.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, I think that that was a very touching moment, and I got to love to see like how like of her backstory was too.
Yeah, I'm honestly curious to see if they expanded on that in Across the Spider Verse. But I guess we'll see about that one.
Yeah.
Um, I think this one we're gonna both enjoy talking about. We have probably the best character I feel like in the entire film. I know I said how much I love Miles in the film, how much I love Parker in this film, and even how much I love Stacy in this film. But I'm sorry, nothing can fucking beat Spider-Man Noir, man. Nothing
Yeah,
can fucking beat it.
Noir is so good,
Yeah,
so
and
good.
obviously, if you guys have seen the film, you know where I'm going with this. He is voiced by the one and only Nicolas Cage. Now, if you guys haven't heard or at least seen a Nicolas Cage movie, what the fuck are you doing? Like, go and watch one. There's so many good ones out there. But you know, I think that I think that honestly he does a very good job with the role of Kingpin. Or with Kingpin. What the fuck am I saying? Spider-Man Noir.
Noir.
Fucking idiot. But no, I think that Nicolas Cage does a very good job with the role of Spider-Man Noir. I honestly like. It's kind of like one of those things where it's like I heard his voice. I'm like, wait a minute, that sounds familiar. And then I researched. I'm like, oh fuck, it's Nicolas Cage. Like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, by far my favorite part about the movie. I mean, do you really? Is there really anything else you need to say, Matt? I think I already said everything.
See now with Spider-Man like Noir, it's like he was like my favorite Spider-Man in well, like if you guys do know the game Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions,
Yep.
it kind of like it kind of shows like that whole like Spider-Verse kind of thing. I think that's what first like kind of like started like the whole Spider-Verse thing. And out of all the four, Spider-Man Noir was like my favorite Spider-Man out of the four in that game, just by the character and the gameplay style too. Kind of like that Arkham like kind of style with the gameplay. So like just seeing him as a character in the film was it was great because like I said he was like my favorite Spider-Man in the game. So I'm so glad that I got to see him in this film.
Yeah, and I was about to say you recently did a like a playthrough of Shattered Dimensions, right? I think it was
Yeah.
in August, I think, right?
Yeah, it was sometime during like the summer.
Yeah, which if you guys haven't checked out that series yet, I do recommend it. It's probably, I mean, Matt was the one who actually first kind of introduced me to Shattered Dimensions, and now I kind of want to play it. um,
Definitely one of the best Spider-Man games out there. Like I consider it top five
yeah. I
for
still need
sure.
to try the Raimi trilogy as well on in video game format as well. But enough about the games. Well, actually, speaking of which, funny enough, the next villain, the next guy we have to talk about is technically a video game villain as well that we'll recognize, and it's
Yep.
the main baddie of the piece, that being Kingpin, played by Levi Schreiber. Now, I didn't recognize the voice initially, and then I looked him up, and surprisingly enough, he played Sabretooth in X-Men Origins Wolverine. Yeah, that's one we don't
Oh,
remember that much. He also
I mean,
played.
I never saw that. So
Yeah, he also did play a role as fuck. Okay, Matt. I know you're gonna get this because we've been talking about this franchise recently. What's that one fucking douchebag in Scream 2 that wanted to get like that fame? Like you know the guy, right? Where he's talking up to fuck, like what's his
wait,
name? You know, like the one where he's like you publish like the interview about me and stuff, and like I'm gonna get all famous and stuff. Like
is
what's
he
that?
the killer
No, no,
from
no, no,
Scream
no, no, no,
2?
no, 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 no. He was he's like one of the main characters in Scream 2, and then gets killed off at the beginning of Scream 3. I forgot what the damn guy's
Oh
name is.
wait.
Yes,
Oh, I
exactly.
know, I know who it is. I know who it is. But what's his name? Oh
I
my
know.
God!
I
Wait.
fucking forgot the name.
Hi, and Nakan Weary. Is that him?
Yeah, Connery. Yes, that's
Oh
him.
wow, he plays as Kingpin.
Yup.
Wow, I
Yeah, let me
didn't
look.
know that.
Let me get the name real quick. Yep, Connery. Yeah, that's the same guy.
That's crazy.
But yeah. So yeah, he was Connery in both Scream 2 and 3. And yeah, was Sabretooth in X-Men Origins Wolverine. And then he went on to do fucking Kingpin. What the fuck is this timeline?
Wow.
But
Damn.
yeah, I fucking loved Kingpin in this one. Like, he was really good in this. Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, he definitely shows off, like, how badass he is within the first 15 minutes, because right after Miles gets bitten, spoilers, I mean, there was a fucking title card and everything at the beginning of this review, he fucking kills Spider-Man. Like, just one tap, boom, right
Yeah.
to the fucking face. And he is done for. And then when he figures out that more Spider-Men are coming through different dimensions, as well as the new Miles Morales Spider-Man, he's like, oh, let's get up in this bitch now. But yeah, I fucking loved Kingpin in this. In fact, yeah, this was actually my first introduction to Kingpin in the Spider-Man mythology. It was
Really?
this was way before I saw any gameplay footage of Spider-Man 3, the game. I think it was also in Shattered Dimensions, right? Or am I wrong about that?
No, he was not in Shattered Dimensions. He was in 2018 though of
Right.
Marvel Spider-Man.
He was in 2018. I remember that. Um, but yeah, so yeah, this
Yeah,
was my
that's crazy.
first. Yeah, this was my first introduction to Kingpin, and honestly, he might be one of my favorite Spider-Man villains. I know that the Spider-Man villains as a whole get like a bad rap for being kind of bland and generic. But he's definitely like a creative one. Like, who the fuck's like, if you're really thinking down right now, who the fuck is that bulky and still a menace to society? Fucking Kingpin. But yeah, I
Yeah.
really did love Kingpin in this film. But what did you think about Kingpin in this film, Matt?
I think he was a great villain. Kind of similar to like how I said with the like seeing like Spider-Man like first like from a game and then now seeing it from the movie because I've saw Kingpin like I got introduced to Kingpin in playing a game and I think it was Spider-Man 3 the video game since he was like
Definitely.
part of like a villain.
Hmm.
But yeah, but seeing him in this though was great and I think in the show, I'm not sure if you know this, Russell, but I mean, I never saw the show. It's on Disney Plus. I think it's one of like the Marvel shows called Hawkeye, and apparently Kingpin is actually I think one of the villains in that show.
Really?
I think he is. I don't know, but I've seen scenes though of the Kingpin character in that show, so it's pretty cool.
I did not know that. Yeah, that is actually interesting. I can only imagine how Hawkeye could go up against Kingpin. I mean, yeah, I guess one arrow to the face, then boom, he's fucking done for. Um, but yeah, that's interesting. I did not know that. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah. Moving right along, we have Jefferson Davis, played by Brian Tree Henry, who I think isn't he the dad to Miles? I think.
Yeah, he is the
Yeah,
dad.
yeah, because he's the officer, right? And I think that he's all right. I think he was kind of like one of those deadbeat dads, I think, kind of. But then as the film goes on, he actually does get better at it. Um, I think I think it's kind of cool how I'm thinking about it now. It's like how he's like not like he's not like a good parent at the beginning, but then becomes a better person as the film goes, as a better parent as the film goes on. And yet another character that we're going to be talking about right after this, he starts off as a good parent, but then becomes more of a dick later on. And I think as
Oh
soon as I say
yeah.
that, you know what I'm talking about. But I think he's all right. I don't think he's that memorable. I think the one scene I always I remember him always in is when Miles goes to his first day. I think it's high school or college. I think it's high school. Actually, no. Is it college? I'm trying to
I
remember.
remember.
It might be one of the two. I might have to fact check that. But yeah, like he's talking to his dad, and like Miles is talking to his dad, or whatever, and he's like, yeah, whatever. He gets out of the car and he fucking he just turns on the siren, and he's like, Dad, are you fucking serious? And he goes, dude, you better say you love me. He's like, Dad, really? He's like, say it. And he's like, I love you, Dad. And he's like, that's what I thought. And he just fucking drives away. And he like pulls up. He goes, you sure about that? And he's like, yes, I'm sure. And he's like, that fucking cracks me up every time because it's just like such like deadbeat comedy, and I fucking love it. Um, no, but like as the film goes on, I think his character does get better. Uh, but I think he's all right as a whole. But what do you think about the dad in the film? I just realized my camera's out of focus. There we go.
I think he's like all right as well. I don't think like he's like a top favorite like character, but yeah, I think he's pretty all right though.
Yeah. All right, moving on. I think you can technically say this is the secondary villain of the film. That being the Prowler, played by, and I'm gonna butcher this name, uh, Marsh, or Mahashalo Ali. I know I butchered that so bad. But yeah, the Prowler in this, and this is exactly what I was talking about a little bit ago with the dad. Is that how like even like so as the dad's kind of like being like not a good parent at the beginning, the Prowler is actually being like a really good kind of like father figure to Miles. But then
Yeah,
as the movie goes on, as the dad gets better, we see the cracks in, I forgot what his real name is. I actually don't remember it. But yeah, like as like the dad gets better, we see more cracks in the Prowler where he starts to kind of like uh let loose a bit, I guess you could say. And then oh yeah, Aaron Davis, sorry, that's what his name was. But yeah, as Jefferson becomes more of a better father figure to Miles, Aaron kind of lets his crack show and like slips up a bit in a few places, and ultimately leads to Miles figuring out that he is the Prowler, and eventually has to try and go and kill him because even though he loves him and he is like his nephew, he is technically Spider-Man and he has figured out his secret, so he has to go and kill him. And I think it eventually leads to Aaron's death, I think. Um, Unfortunately, which it sucks, but it's like kind of like one of those things where you sit back and goes, I mean, yeah, it's terrible, but at the same time, he put himself in that situation. There's nothing that he could do about it. But yeah, but yeah, honestly, I think I really did enjoy Aaron Davis slash the Prowler in the film. I just really wish that he kind of had more screen time in the film because he gets very little, and then, like I said, unfortunately, he gets killed off. Um, which I think also that kind of
yeah,
insinuates like a vendetta within the dad because all he knows is that Spider-Man killed his best friend. And so now he's like, all right, I hate Spider-Man now. I'm gonna hunt this motherfucker down. And I don't know if it gets resolved in Across the Spider-Verse. I'm not sure. Or actually, no. I think doesn't it? No, I think it gets resolved at the end of this film. I think. I'm not totally sure, but yeah. Um, but yeah, I really did enjoy the Prowler in this. But what do you have to say about the Prowler in this one, Matt?
I think the Prowler was like really like good as like I guess like a villain, or like a character in a way, because like I like the realization when he notices that Miles is Spider-Man, like the realization on that
Yes.
is like freaking, oh, it's
I think my
it's
favorite
such a crazy
scene.
moment.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think my favorite scene with the Prowler is the one that's in his house, and like Miles isn't like after Miles becomes Spider Man and he's like sitting there like being invisible behind the couch, and then like the Prowler's like he puts on like the suit and he's like looking around like where is he? And like that was like gave me like massive like horror vibes, bro. Like honestly, yeah. If you were in
Yeah,
Miles' situation, you'd be scared shitless. Like you're being like, "Fuck, my uncle is the like a massive like villain. What the fuck am I supposed to do?" And he's just like looking around, and he's like clawing shit. And then finally, Miles manages to I think he escapes through the window and like climbs to the roof. And he's like, "I'll get you for this, Spider-Man!" And he's like, "Yeah, like that was I think the most intense scene in the entire film." Um,
yeah.
Next up, we have this film's interpretation of Aunt May, played by Lily Tomley. I think she's okay. She doesn't really do that much, although I was surprised that she was pulling up a fucking cue from James Bond and have like a whole fucking secret laboratory and shit. Like, where the fuck was this?
Mm.
Aunt May,
Yeah,
Aunt May, so where was this? You could have what? Like that threw me off guard so bad.
that was just unexpected.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, all right, I have something to show you guys, and all of a sudden it's like, ding, 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 and it's like, what the fuck? She has a secret base. But all right, like sure. Uh, I think that's also when we get introduced to the other Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, yeah, the characters.
Like Noir. I think Spider Pig, and then I forgot what the girl's name is, but it's anime Spider-Man.
Penny,
Penny, right? Yeah,
Penny, I think.
yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. Does it say it on the back of here? I'm not sure. I don't think it does. Yeah, no, it doesn't. Um, but yeah, that's when we get introduced to those three, and yeah. I mean, besides Nicolas Cage, which we already talked about, I think the other two are okay. Nothing too special. I mean, Spider-Ham basically is like a fucking Looney Tunes character, and then Penny really doesn't have anything going for her except for the one time when like the spider gets killed. I think that's in her mech suit, and I'm like, okay, why do I even care? Like, can we move to like the actual fight? Because it was like I think it was in the middle of the final fight, and like the spider just dies. I'm like, wow, really a good way to cut the tension there, asshole. Um, but yeah, but I think those two are all right. But Aunt May, again, I think she was okay. I think that yeah, she had that whole fucking secret base with all this like technology and shit for her Peter. I think that was cool. But besides that, I don't know. I don't really know what else is really else to say about it. I mean, unless you want to say anything else about her, Matt.
I think this anime was pretty alright though. Yeah, but just like with the whole base was like so unexpected
Yeah.
though.
Um,
But yeah.
and then finally we have technically you could say this universe's interpretation of the main Peter Parker, that also being Spider-Man, who is played by Chris Pine. Now, if you guys are fans of my channel and have seen my previous reviews, you guys may remember that Chris Pine played a certain captain in a certain sci-fi movie reboot, that being the Star Trek reboots from 2009 to 2016. He played Captain Kirk in that. He also recently just appeared in the Dungeons and Dragons movie that came out, as well as I'm trying to remember what else he recently did. Oh yeah, but yeah, he was also in the Wonder Woman films, uh, and I think that's pretty much about it in terms of noteworthy stuff. Um, I think he's all right. The problem with this version of Peter Parker is that he doesn't really get that much screen time because, like I said earlier with the Kingpin section, Spider-Man gets killed off in this movie, which was
Yeah.
so unexpected. Like, if you're familiar with the Miles Morales story, you would think that, Peter Parker and Miles Morales are going to work together and, save the day. Nope. Fucking 20 minutes into the movie, Peter's fucking dead. And then, yeah, this whole
I don't
fucking
know.
guilt trip from Miles, like, oh my god, I'm the one who killed him. I don't even know. And that's when we obviously get introduced to like the grid and stuff, and obviously with the others, like Peter B. Parker and Gwen and that other shit. But yeah, just the main problem I have with Chris Pine's interpretation of Spider-Man is that he doesn't get that much time to really develop his character. It's like, yeah, you know that there's a Spider-Man. He does some cool things. He has that battle with Kingpin in the beginning, but then gets beat up and, like I said, killed off near the beginning. Like, there's really nothing else to say about it. I mean, he does okay. It's just, I wish there could have been more with it. But what do you think about his character, Matt?
I think with like with the Spider-Man, right? Like
Yeah.
with the
Chris
original.
Pine's character, like the one that's in like the first like 20 minutes, ish.
So yeah, with him, I think it was like so crazy seeing like a Spider-Man like getting killed in the film, and because like I mean, well, one thing was that his introduction, and I loved the fact that they made him do the Bully Maguire
I knew you were
dance.
about to fucking say that. I knew it.
I was like, what? When I saw him do that, I was laughing my ass off because like the way that he did it was so good.
Yeah, But honestly,
Uh,
nothing compared to Toby doing it. Nothing
yeah,
compared to him doing it.
yeah, but it was so cool though, like seeing like that version of Peter doing that, and I love the introduction though. I just wish that we got more screen time though, like you said,
Yeah.
because I think that Spider-Man could have had like much more potential in the film more.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much about it for main characters, really. Um, I guess we could move on to favorite scenes. I mean, I've already said like mine pretty much. I think the whole the Prowler sequence was really good. Uh, the first scene that Miles and Peter B. Parker have as Spider-Man together, I think that was really funny. Pretty much any scene with Nicolas Cage in it, that's fucking hilarious. And but if I had to choose one, I think it would honestly have to be the final battle near the end of the film where they're in this reactor and Kingpin is like trying to do all this shit because surprisingly enough, I think this is the actual first Spider-Man villain like goal pretty much that actually makes sense and you actually connect with them on it. Like yeah, in the Raimi films they were funny and like the backstories were tragic, but then after that you're just like, I mean yeah, you're not really coming back after this. The ones in the Garfield films were pretty much forgettable, or just shit overall. And then so far with Tom Holland, we got Michael Keaton's character in Homecoming, which I thought was pretty good, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah,
Kingpin, on the other hand, he was the first one that I was like, wow, you actually have like a really good fucking backstory. That being, his family was fucking killed. Like, fuck.
yeah, the backstory for that was like
I'm trying to remember
insane.
how they died. Didn't they die to like a train or whatever? They got like run over or something. I'm
I
trying to
think
remember.
something like that.
I'm
I
trying to
think I
remember.
don't really remember.
Oh no! I think they were in a train and like it blew up or something, and that caused them to die or something because during the fight, both like Miles and Kingpin are fighting in this train car, like in the subway, and then he sees his wife and daughter in the train. So I think yeah, like it blew up, and that caused their death. But yeah, like that was like the first one that I was like, wow, like this was like actually like the first Spider-Man villain that I actually felt connected with and understood why he was like actually like doing the things that he was doing. Because the thing was is that besides really killing Spider-Man at the beginning, he technically doesn't do anything that bad. Like yeah, he tries to stop Spider-Man, like Miles and Peter and like all the other Spider-Man, but in actuality, his goals are actually like pretty like understandable. And like if it wasn't for Peter and like Miles and like all the other Spider-Men, he probably would have gotten his goal, and he actually probably would have probably had a happier ending than the rest of the Spider-Men in this film. Um, but no, like, he was actually like his backstory was actually like really good in this, and the fact that it was fleshed out in this final fight, I really did like that. But unfortunately, he is a villain, and he did technically kill a human being, that being Spider-Man. So he has to die, and I think the way that he dies is so, like, damn. Like, doesn't he get connected? I think he gets connected to like the reactor, and he just fucking explodes. Like he overloads it,
Yeah, I
and
think
he's like,
so.
boom. But yeah, I think that whole final fight was like my favorite scene in the entire film. But what would you consider to be your favorite scene in the film, Matt?
Um, damn, because like there's so much like there's a lot of like emotional
Yeah.
scenes in the film. I would definitely say that. Um, you know what? I guess for shits and giggles, why don't I just I'm just gonna say just the Peter just doing the Bully Maguire dance.
God
Just for
fucking
shits
do
and
it!
giggles.
God. Okay. Yeah. Actually, no. I'll take that. One when you were saying emotional scenes, the one I actually thought of another one is when they go to Peter's house, like the Peter in this timeline, which actually looks very similar to Aunt May's house in like the Raimi films. Like it looks very similar to those ones. And then they like
Oh
knock on
yeah.
and they knock on the door, and then Aunt May sees Peter B. Parker, and she just almost has a breakdown, like seeing Peter again technically after his death is like it just breaks her, and she's like touching her face, and then Gwen's like, "What?" And Miles is like, "Just let them have their moment, please. Like this is kind of serious." And it's like, "Is it really you?" It's like "Yes, Aunt May, it's me." And like that one, I did actually I got emotional with. I won't lie, like that one almost got me. But yeah.
Damn, yeah.
So for this film, I have two fun facts for this, and the first one is kind of sad, I will admit. But I mean, I feel like it needs to be noted. But the second one kind of brings it up a bit. So yeah, so basically, the first fun fact that I have is, did you know that the two men that actually created Spider-Man have tributes in this film? So initially, this film was touted with having a dedication to Steve Ditko, or Ditko, I think that's how you say his name, who unfortunately passed away on July 6th of 2018, and the film was originally supposed to be dedicated towards him. But unfortunately, he wasn't the only one, because, as we all know, on November 12th of that year, the one and only Stan Lee did pass away, so the film was also credited
Yeah.
to him, which, I mean, yeah, it's fucking, it's so sad that both the men that created one of the best known superheroes out there passed away during the creation of this film. But I'm glad that they did get credits or like dedications in this film, because I feel like if they didn't, for this film specifically, if they didn't, it would be a massive fucking disservice towards them. And honestly, I think it's better to know them for what they were than how because honestly, they created such good shit over the lifespans that honestly, for them to technically go out and like with this film, technically, I'm fine with that, because honestly, with the comic book kind of aspect to it, I think this is the perfect send off for them too. Um, so yeah, I mean, yeah, it's so sad to hear that. Like this film, they went into this film initially to, you know, uh, to credit Steve, uh, but they also had to credit Stan as well. So, but to bring it back on a lighter note, fun fact number two is that, did you know that Nicolas Cage was actually really excited to get the role that he got in the film? So yeah, apparently, according to interviews that happened after the film came out, um, Nicolas Cage was actually very excited that the directors let him just have fun with his role as Spider-Man Noir, and it clearly shows in the film, because he is just going
Yeah.
along
It
and just having fun
does
with
too
it.
good.
Yeah, he is so fucking good in the movie. And one last thing
Too
before we
good.
move on to the ultimate ranking for the film is the music, which was composed by Daniel Pertum. I think that's how you say his name. I think the score in this is very good. I don't think it matches on par with the Raimi trilogy, or even the what James Horner did with the first Amazing Spider-Man, but I think this is still a very good soundtrack for the film. And don't fucking mention to me Butterflies. That song was on fucking repeat for so goddamn long. Everyone, like, legit, the weekend the movie came out, and for like 5 months after that, every single fucking person would always just sing Butterflies, like, by fucking Post Malone, and I'm just sitting in the corner like, shut up, please, for the love of God. I mean, now, obviously, I think it's a good song, but, oh, God, I'm getting PTSD from it. But what do you think about the soundtrack in the film?
I think it's amazing, like the soundtrack. There's also were you talking about like the music Sunflower?
Oh, Sunflower, that's
Was
what,
it that
no.
one?
Yeah, Sunflower. I thought it was Butterflies that the track was called.
Um
Oh, that might have been
yeah, but
that might have been the one that came out for Across, but I'm not sure though. Yeah, but Sunflower,
Yeah,
that one kept on fucking being played on repeat. I'm just sitting here and just like, I mean, it's alright, but you don't have to fucking blare in my ear every 20 seconds.
yeah, like, that's true. But I think it's like whenever I hear that, it just reminds me of Into the Spider Verse.
Yeah, I guess that's like really like the main thing with the song for me is that like I hear it and I go, that's Into the Spider Verse, and then I just get in the mood to watch Into the Spider Verse. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Matt, what are your final thoughts on Into the Spider Verse?
Okay, I'll say this right now. Definitely, like definitely a phenomenal Spider-Man movie. It's definitely up there, probably top five, like Spider-Man film, like for me. But for a ranking on a or maybe even an S,
Really?
if I'm ranking
Wow.
like Spider-Man films.
That is actually surprising.
Yeah, it's one of the two.
All right, so
It's
for
one of the two, but I think I'll put it on A.
okay, all right. So for me personally,
I think that's a good
yeah, no,
thing.
I think it's absolutely a good ranking. But for me personally, I think yes, this is certainly a top five movie for me. But the thing about it is, I think this is a significant step down from the first two Raimi films in my mind. Um, even though I would rank this third in my rankings currently, um, I'm thinking probably like an A minus to even maybe a B plus for me personally. It just doesn't have the same connection that I have to like Spider-Man 1 or Spider-Man 2. You know, because honestly, I grew up with those films, and honestly, those are way more.
Yeah, same.
Those are way more Spider-Man movies for me than Into the Spider-Verse. But I think I would rank this over like Spider-Man 3 and like No Way Home and even Homecoming. Um, and definitely over the Amazing duology. But yeah, for me personally, I think for ranking all the films right now, since I've only watched 8 of them so far, this would rank third for me right now. So below Spider-Man 1 and 2, but basically above everything else. But yeah, I think ranking wise, I think I would put this like an A minus or even like a B plus. But I'll stick with A minus. Because it is still a really good movie.
Yeah, that's fine.
I do recommend this
That's
film.
fine.
I still recommend this film to pretty much anyone who's a superhero fan or even an animation fan. Because yeah, this film was fucking gorgeous. The story is really good. The characters are really relatable. And yeah, I mean, this is just I mean, there is technically a reason why this film was nominated for Best Animated Movie of 2018. Because it fucking shows that this had the potential to be Best Animated Movie. I think it won it, I think, right? I think it did.
I think it did like a one for one, like best movie
Yeah,
of
Best Animated
2018.
Movie.
Yeah,
Yep, Best Animated Feature of 2019. So I was right. How many Oscars did it win? So it had one nomination for Academy Awards and one, which was Best Animated Movie. But yeah, so I mean, yeah, there is a reason why this was awarded best animated movie of of the year because it fucking shows. This is certainly one of the best films out of the 2010s era I've ever seen, and I think I think definitely deserves everyone to watch it at least once. But
yeah,
yeah, guys, so that's gonna do it for our review of Into the Spider Verse. I know this has been a long time coming, but honestly, I'm really glad to be doing these again. And just to finish it off, because after this, we only need to do Far From Home and No Way Home to really cap off the Spider-Man marathon for now. And I know that people are gonna say, but what about Across the Spider Verse or the Venom movies? And honestly,
yeah,
I think those ones I'm gonna have to definitely push those back because if I did them now there's gonna be no time for me to do my Halloween thing for this month, and even for you, Matt, because I know that you have a lot going on right now. Because as at the time of this recording, He only just Matt, you only just posted part 2 of the FNAF Plus series, right?
Yeah, I just recently started,
Yeah.
so I'm trying to upload a lot.
hmm So, if I was really gonna do the Venom movies and Across the Spider-Verse, along with everything else that like the rest of the reviews I need to do with for Spider-Man, and also the Ghostbusters Redux reviews I need to do, on top of doing the game as well next week, I'm gonna be burnt out and have nothing for November. So I'm gonna have to push this back to probably next year, but probably over the next few years, I'll probably discuss those films. Um, but yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this review of Into the Spider-Verse. As always, thank you to Matt for joining me on this episode. And yeah, go and sub to his channel. He's doing some really great gaming content right now, as well as some Halloween stuff. I think this year you're gonna be doing a lot of FNAF stuff. I think because yeah, we're already, like I said, he's already doing FNAF Plus. But you're also gonna do Finance of Freddy's Juniors, I think, as well as the brand new Ruins DLC for Security Breach. So go and check that out on his channel.
Yep.
And obviously, if you like this sort of content, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that bell icon to get notified when future videos are coming out. You can also follow me on my social media pages: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. That's where you guys will get notified when new videos are coming out, or maybe just about my personal life in general. You could also, if you guys want to know what I think about a movie before the reviews come out on YouTube, go and follow me on the Letterboxd page, because that's where I'll be talking about them. Not really as in depth as like in these, but that's where you guys get that's where you guys will know what I think, as well as also follow me on my Twitch page, because that's where I'll be doing all my gaming stuff as well. But anyway, guys, stay tuned next time for our review of Spider-Man Far From Home. I will see you guys later.